Okay, 1987 Topps rack packs. Contains 49 cards. I always like to play my little game as far as opening up packs and see which one I can build a better team out of. Just a dopey thing I've always done. I don't include all-star cards or any kind of specialty cards. Gotta be just kind of the normal base type of things. So, nice and easy. Basically, pack number 1 or pack number 2. I just opened up on a previous video Topps Heritage, some older cards, so now I figure it'd be a good time just to go back and open up some real older cards. Not too old. These are borderline old, right? Old enough to call them old, but not old enough to, be worth a lot of money. Willis, turn back the clock, I'm not even sure. Tom Hume, Robin Yount, he's on the team, so he's definitely, what position? He's going to be considered an outfielder. So I get 3 outfielders. Skremski doesn't count. Ooh, checklist. I'm not that guy. Carlton Fisk is definitely going to be a catcher. Alan Trammell, even in 87, was still considered the shortstop. Mike Witt would be my, look at this, I'm getting a good team going here. Second baseman for sure. I'm sure is Willie Randolph. Dave Parker, all his home runs. Very good chance of being an outfielder. So right away with the core team making up shortstop, second base, and catcher, and a couple outfielders, that's a good team. This team might be kind of difficult to beat, I have to admit. And that was just one third of the pack, and I already got almost half the team. Pete Rose, but as a manager, so I'm not going to count him. Donnie Hill, Ruben Sierra, Mike Greenwell. Back in the day, this card was something, right? Everyone wanted him as an outfielder. I'm going to put him to the side just because if he's on the team, he's definitely one of the not great teams. So now it goes to show you, right? Third of a pack. This third of a pack was almost next to nothing. The first third had almost everything. I've noticed that happens a lot with rack packs. I don't know if they purposely do that, put the cards somewhere. Manager cards. They don't really do manager cards anymore, do they? Yeah, it's getting a little thin. I think he's a second baseman. Rafael Stan's a shortstop. It's not going to really help me. Bob Horner, first and third. Just so happens I can use a first and a third baseman. So I'm definitely going to put him up there. Let's see. Can I get one more little guy? Bo Diaz. He's not considered a first baseman. I thought maybe he'd get first base. Shortstop, I already have. All right. Well, so I have 1, 2, 3 outfielders. Second, third, Bob Horner. Short. So I'm 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what am I missing? I'm missing a DH and a first baseman, which you think would be fillable one way or the other. Then what I normally do is go through and see who would at least qualify for something like that. Davey Lopes. Yeah, this guy had such a long career. Stolen bases. Yeah, he's definitely... I thought he was a manager, to tell you the truth, in that picture. But he's not. That's funny. But yeah, over 500 stolen bases. So David Lopes, as an outfielder or second baseman, he could definitely be a DH. So I'm looking for a first base, I suppose, of which I don't think I had many, which is funny. You'd think there'd be a lot of good first basemen. But, alas, there is not. So, he wasn't outfielder, second base. Alright, so I don't get any official first base. Was Bob Horner first or third? Alright, so Bob Horner's first. And then this guy is third. This guy's been around forever, too. What's he got? Yeah. Juan has played winter ball the past 16 years. So he played a lot of baseball. All right, he makes the team. So at least I have a starting 9. This is the starting 9. I'd have to say, again, I mean, how do you figure, Dave Lopes, at this point, he ain't running too much, so is he, am I going off of what he could do in the year 1987, or am I just going by career stats? I usually look at it as more just career stats, at this point. So I'd have to put Lopes first. I don't know. Then, this is all just kind of a little bit of a guess, but I'll say Robin Yount. Trammell wasn't a power hitter, right? I mean, a little bit of power, a little bit of batting average, some stolen bases. Maybe I'd put him 2, and then Robin Yount. And say Fisk as a number 4 hitter. I think you'd have Dave Parker in there. Willie Randolph. He'd be a good 9 hitter because he has that speed. So it's almost like the two leadoff hitters back to back. Something like that. I know it's not the cleanest spacing and whatnot, but that's gonna be the lineup for the first team. And now let's bang out the second team. I'll try and do this one a little faster. You know how I play. I would call this team a moderate team. I would call the first third of the pack that I opened up to be great for the game, and then the last 2/3 to be average to below average at best, which made the overall team good. Okay. I would actually call this a pretty average team. Nothing to get too terribly excited about, but nothing to cry about either. Hey, good old Tommy John. Everyone's had his certain. So Eric Davis is the outfielder. I'm sure this guy's going to make my outfielder. Some home runs, some stolen bases. 80 stolen bases. Good Lord. Too bad he turned into a crackhead, but all-star cards don't count, unfortunately. Jose Cruz as an outfielder. He's been around forever. A little bit of everything. It's definitely a chance for him. Cecil Cooper, another guy. Just been around forever, 200-something. DH, first base. We'll see if I need a first baseman. He can definitely make the team. Now, so this is just the easy, unequivocal leadoff. I'm going to put him right up there because it doesn't get any better than that. Be an interesting lineup to have Henderson 1, Davis 2. That's a interesting lineup. Checklist. Still not that guy. Very decent catcher. So this team is starting to make me feel like it's rounding out pretty nicely. If I can get one good thumper. That's not him. Greg Nettles. Greg Nettles, sorry. Mr. Nettles. Yeah, I mean, he's a thumper, a third baseman. I'm definitely going to put him up there. I don't know if I already have a third baseman. Fernando Strawberry. He was always one of my favorites. All right. So that's for 2/3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have exactly 2/3 of the packs and 2/3 of my team. So a nice little thing. Tim Tuffle as a second baseman. Do I have the second baseman? I think I have a second baseman. I'm putting him up there because at least I know who he is. Jimmy Key, I always liked him as a pitcher. Paul Molitor. So is a third baseman. That might be a DH / third baseman type of setup. This guy looks like he's running so fast. Does he have speed? He has speed. 33 stolen bases. That's a shortstop. I don't know if I need a shortstop. I'm getting these positions confused off the top of my head. Just trying to do this real quick. Sid Bream, Anderson, Rafael Belliard, Charlie Huff. This guy is in 70. Pretty cool. And another Hall of Fame third baseman. So, this is a little bit of a quandary now. I think this team's going to win, but if I have too many of the same positions, it doesn't really help me. First of all, and this Schmidt is dented up real good in the corner there, which doesn't help. Third or first, which is good. Paul Molitor is third. That's not as good. And then Greg Nettles is third. So then Mike Schmidt could be first, according to this, which is nice. I have a shortstop and second baseman. What else did I get here? The catcher, obviously, is going to be good. Outfielder. Another outfielder. So these are some outfielders, a couple of goods, and a great DH first base. So I'm going to say I have my first base and I have my third base and my DH pretty well set up. Shortstop, second base. Yes, that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yep, that's the team. This is the team. So I'm thinking they would be set up something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Tim Tuffle. Out again. He's going to probably put back here. And then Griffin, who has some speed. He's running. He's trying. All right. So, in my opinion, there's just no doubt that the second pack between Ricky Henderson, Mike Schmidt, Eric Davis when he's prime, Paul Molitor, this top four is considerably better than that top four. And then you still have Greg Nettles, Lance Parrish, a couple more good hitters there. So, for sure, number 2. This team wins. I would say this team, in what I normally do in opening these packs, the bottom team is, I would rate it a solid B. That's a good B team. With, 1, 2, 3 Hall of Famers. Greg Nettles, I'm not even sure if he's a Hall of Famer offhand. As opposed to the top team that I see, 2, 3, Alan Trammell is a Hall of Famer for some reason. So, yeah, there you go. Okay. So anyway, this is the game that I would play by myself in the kitchen late at night if I'm up for some reason, open up some cards, put them together, put a team together, and then just put them all away, put them back in the box. But now I get to share everything with you guys, which I appreciate. And I appreciate the comments and everything else. I get to keep, I'm going to keep one card out of this. And if I get to keep one card out of it, to me, I'm feeling, the Schmidt had a little ding in it. Otherwise, the Eric Davis, I kind of like that the most. I like the pose, the holding the ball. The Ricky Henderson's really cool, too. He is a Yankee. Although I don't look at Henderson as being the Yankees. He's around so long and played with so many different teams. I don't know. If I had to pick between these two cards, both these cards are not in perfect shape or anything else. I know Henderson's worth more, but I think for some reason I'm feeling the Eric Davis a little bit. Just that pose, that design. I remember him as a kid. I remember thinking, wow, this is a player. Him and Strawberry. So I'm going to go with Eric Davis. I know it's a little bit of a funny card to pick, perhaps, but that's the one I picked. Everything else could be yours. Again, I'm going to have that new draft system in place. A little a system depending upon how many subscribers. I appreciate it, guys. Comment if you see something dopey, if I did something dumb, if you disagree with something strongly, if you don't like the batting order or the players I picked, or if you disagree with which team won, which team should have won, which team should have lost. Let me know what you think. I'm always curious. Go Yankees.